Ncuti Gatwa's first season as the Doctor has concluded, and in this episode, I give you my thoughts on his first season as a Doctor. Episode 17 of the Shady Mob Podcast starts now.
You're watching the Shady Mob Podcast with your two favorite Pod Mob stars.
All right, guys, please click on the subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops.
You ready, my guy?
Let's do it.
First and foremost, I would like to take a moment to thank all of our subscribers as we continue to grow. We have now surpassed over 2,400 subs. Round of applause for you people. Thank you very much. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to leave a comment on the video as we want to know what content you want us to review and give you our thoughts on. Now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not had the opportunity to go and check out the first season of Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor Who on Disney Plus, at least here in America, I'd recommend you go and do so. I honestly enjoyed it. When I saw the trailer for the first episode, which was the church on Ruby Road, I honestly had my hesitations because I didn't know what to expect. Without a shadow of a doubt, the new Doctor Who series definitely has an agenda with trying to be inclusive with the LGBTQ plus community. With that being said, after I actually sat down and watched the first episode of Doctor Who, The Church on Ruby Road, I genuinely enjoyed it. I loved the musical number that they did in the episode. I also loved Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson's chemistry together and looked forward to seeing what his first season as Doctor Who had in store. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about some of the things that I really liked about Ncuti's first season as the Doctor. Number one, which I think is the most important, I liked how Ncuti Gatwa presented himself as the Doctor. The way he presented himself, his mannerisms, his personality, I really did genuinely feel like he was a Doctor. I think the reason why he was able to portray the Doctor so well is because since Ncuti Gatwa himself is such a unique personality, for him to behave in a way like the Doctor wasn't a huge difference. I think he was genuinely born to play this character, and I genuinely thought he instantly was better than Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. No disrespect to her, I just didn't really like the way that they portrayed her during her time as the Doctor in Doctor Who. Ncuti from the beginning, from his introduction with the bi-generation because of David Tennant, coming back and basically passing the baton to him in a way where it felt like the best Doctor, the one that brought the series back to its prominence. Yes, I know Christopher Eccleston was the one that reinitiated it, but he was only there for one series, and it was really under David Tennant that the series took off. So for him to come back and pass the baton to Ncuti just felt so right, which leads me to number two. I loved the introduction of the bi-generation because we technically now have two Doctors in the universe, even though I know Moffat has said that there is only one Doctor and David Tennant isn't coming back. That's bullshit. We know that towards the end of Ncuti's Doctor Who, we're probably going to see David Tennant come back in the iconic role. Maybe for an anniversary special, maybe for a holiday special, but I can almost damn near guarantee you we're going to see David Tennant and Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor on the screen again one more time. So the third thing I really enjoyed about this Doctor Who season was how it really goes back to its origins, back to the original Doctor Who series that we saw from the 1960s all the way up until the early 90s, before it went on its hiatus until 2005. A lot of Easter eggs, and it really tied the entire Doctor Who story together. We got a villain that hadn't been seen in years. Also, the theme of this season was gods, and we got to see the toy maker make a return in the holiday specials with David Tennant's Doctor. And then ultimately that led to the introduction of Ncuti. Again, it really went back and tied everything together. So for me, I really thought Moffat did a really good job with this season of Doctor Who. And number four, ladies and gentlemen, I also loved Millie Gibson as the new Doctor's companion for this season. I believe the chemistry that Millie and Ncuti both had was incredible. It's a shame that we're only going to get them for one season together, but Ruby Sunday to be this Doctor's first companion, really, it made you feel like it was going back to the days of Billie Piper and David Tennant, not in the romantic aspect of things, but it felt like, okay, we got a companion that fits very well with this Doctor. They're best friends, they're going on these crazy adventures, and they get along so well. I really enjoyed their time together, and hopefully we get some more Ruby Sunday down the road. Get it? Ruby Road? Ruby Sunday down the road? I know, I cracked myself up.
Guys, have you heard? Nelson, tell the people.
Shady Mob Productions is an official affiliate of HBO Max.
Click on the link in the description and sign up so you can watch hit series like Hard Knocks, Game of Thrones, and House of Dragons.
Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops.
So I'm actually going to change the first thing that I did not like about this season of Doctor Who, and I don't know why it blew, like I forgot about it. I fucking hated the sonic screwdriver. That's a remote fucking control. Like, a sonic screwdriver, if anything, was used as a wand for most cases. It's not a gun. It is not a gun. I understand what Moffat was trying to do, but come on. The sonic screwdriver is iconic. And you turned it into a fucking remote control? Really? Ugh. I don't know how I forgot about this. I was going to say I didn't like how Ncuti got super emotional at the end, where he was a little bit extra when he was acting out his emotions, but after rewatching it like 3 or 4 times, it kind of grows on you. So I'm changing it to the sonic screwdriver because I genuinely forgot about it, and now looking back at it, oh my fucking god, it was give me a normal sonic screwdriver. That's all I want. That's all I want. Please. I need a remote control. Moving on to number 2, ladies and gentlemen. The second thing I hated the most about this season was how after everything culminated at the end, Ruby's mother was just a normal human being. That pissed me off so fucking much. That whole build-up, I would have loved it if they would have made Susan Foreman Ruby's mom, or if at some point we got Susan Foreman back in this whole storyline. Maybe we will later on down the road. But for me, that was one of the biggest letdowns because it makes no sense if her mom and dad are both normal human beings. That makes Ruby a normal human being. It ultimately makes no sense for her to be able to have snow occur when she's feeling some sort of way. I feel like they really missed the ball. They were building up for Susan Foreman. I was really hoping we might get Susan Foreman back, but it ultimately was just what it was. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, all of this just for that? That's just the way I felt personally, ladies and gentlemen. Last but not least, what I hated the most about this series, whether it be season 1 on Disney Plus or series 14, if you're continuing off the rebooted continuation of Doctor Who that started in 2005, since Peter Capaldi's 10th series as Doctor Who, they have cut back on the episodes, and series 13 and this series were both 9 episodes. That's 2 episodes less than what we had in series 12 and 11. I feel like they could have done more if they had had 4 or 5 more episodes to add to the story. We can never get enough of Doctor Who, and frankly, I feel like not having a full 14 episode series or even a 10 episode series, you can do a lot with 10 episodes. You can flesh out a story much more, which I believe is the right thing to do. But 9 seems to be the new norm for a lot of TV shows and series. And I feel like a lot of stories get lost where they just don't do a good job storytelling because they're just trying to speed up the story. If that is the case, then we shouldn't get a lot of filler episodes or filler moments. And sometimes that does end up happening, even in a 9 episode season. That frankly was one of the things that was my biggest issue with this series of Doctor Who. Just having 9 episodes, I would have preferred it at least be 10, maybe 12 episodes. But that was my third biggest gripe that I had with this Doctor Who series. Overall, this season for me was a 3 out of 5. I genuinely enjoyed this season of Doctor Who. I love the Doctor and his companion Ruby Sunday. I love how Ncuti Gatwa presented himself, but there were times where I felt like emotions were being forced. I did feel like an agenda was being pushed, but I think it is a great watch if you have kids. Go and watch this series. It does an excellent job talking about inclusivity and diversity, and again, clearly there was an agenda being pushed. Again, 3 out of 5 stars. Go check it out. I would have preferred it to be longer, ladies and gentlemen. But if you haven't, go check out the latest season of Doctor Who on Disney Plus here in America. In Europe, it might be on the BBC or something else. If you want to check out the other seasons of Doctor Who, sign up for a subscription to HBO Max. Click on the link in the description and go check out Doctor Who seasons 1 through 13, I believe, from 2005 up until last year on HBO Max. Sign up. I recommend it. Moving on to a trailer reaction. Guys, if you're into sports, wrestling, or just need some positivity and motivation, check out N1 from the End Zone and click on that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops. Guys, have you heard? Shady My Productions is an official affiliate of HBO Max. Click on the link in the description and sign up so you can watch hit series like Hard Knocks, Game of Thrones, and House of Dragons. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this segment, we're going to react to Mufasa The Lion King. And this is a prequel to The Lion King itself. Now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's check this out.
It's time. I'll tell you a story. A story of a cub.
Timon and Pumbaa,
So
is
just
that
to be
them?
clear, we're not in this story.
There's a lot of stories with all of us. Tell one of those.
Long before they became legends, Mufasa and the prince who would come to be known as Scar became brothers.
Hello, what's your name?
Mufasa.
I told you to wait for me. We can't
The
just
monkey
leave him here.
tells
Rules are
Simba
rules,
and
Tucker.
Timon
The
and
king
Pumbaa
will
the
never
story.
accept a stray.
I'm not astray. I'm just lost.
We do not associate with outsiders. Taka is the future king. We must protect the bloodline.
But, Dad, I saved his life.
Scar was gonna be king.
I have a secret, Mufasa. I always wanted a brother. I always wanted a brother.
Taka was Scar's name was
I always wanted
Taka.
a brother.
Sometimes I get a scent.
What happened?
It's barely a trace on the wind. And it smells like home. And then it's gone.
You and Tucker together, that is home. Now both of you go. Find your place in the circle of life.
The circle is broken. There will be one Lion King.
Mufasa, run!
We must fight together. If we fight, we die. Just to be clear, I never signed up for this.
I'm here to protect you, my brother.
Mufasa! This was a bad idea! We're alive! I did it! I saved us!
You were saying?
Rafiki. This is gonna be fucking lit. I can't wait. I'm excited about this prequel. December 20th, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna come to theaters near you. I'm actually genuinely excited about this. I grew up watching the animated version of The Lion King. I remember 1, 1.5, and 2. So to get an actual prequel series about The Lion King where we see Mufasa's rise and finding out that he was literally an orphan and Scar, who is Taka, was the prince, was the rightful heir to the throne. I'm just curious to see what the fuck happened. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Scar get his scar in this. And to be honest with you, I now understand why Scar was so resentful towards Mufasa. And I really cannot wait to watch this movie. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with some what to watch.
Guys, join me, Alex the Man Angelov, and check out A&A Radio, where we're going to be talking about the latest and greatest financial news, investments, banking, and personal finance. Check out the channel, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops.
Guys, you're watching a Shady Mob production. Make sure to follow the Shady Mob podcast, where we break down all the latest content and talk about life. Please make sure to share, like, comment, and subscribe so you can be notified when the latest content drops.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, with the man and your king,
The king.
it's time for
What to watch? 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 Yes, sir.
Now, to continue off this fantastical themed episode that we have going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, go and check out House of Dragons on HBO Max. This is a prequel series of the world famous Game of Thrones series that was also on HBO. And if you haven't watched Game of Thrones and you want to dive into that world, if you watch House of Dragons first, because it is a prequel series, then some of the things that you see in Game of Thrones make sense. But if you watch Game of Thrones first and then you want to go back and watch House of Dragons, you can also do that too. I'm currently watching the second season of House of Dragons after it took, I believe, a year hiatus in between season 1 and season 2. The story behind House of Dragons is basically the Targaryen Civil War, where after King Viserys dies in the first season, his wife at the time, Alicent Hightower, believes her son, Aegon Targaryen, is the rightful heir to the throne. However, before the king was on his deathbed, he proclaimed his daughter, Rhaenyra Targaryen, as the rightful heir to the throne, ultimately escalating everything into a civil war. At the beginning of the first season, you see Alicent and Rhaenyra were actually best friends, and then after Rhaenyra's mother died, then Alicent was forced to marry the king, who was also the royal hand's daughter, and you see the struggle for power begin. My favorite character thus far is Matt Smith's Daemon Targaryen. I love his ruthless nature and how he will do whatever it takes to gain power. If you're into fantasy stuff like Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, or Lord of the Rings, guys, by all means, go check out House of Dragons. This is honestly a really good show in my opinion, and I can't wait to finish season 2. I want to see how this story evolves and how it sets up for season 3. And also, because this is also a Doctor Who episode, Matt Smith, ladies and gentlemen, the Doctor himself, is in the goddamn show. So go watch House of Dragons. Matt Smith, Daemon Targaryen, by far one of the best characters in the show so far. So yeah, ladies, gentlemen, to the House of Dragons we go. You guys just watched the latest episode of the Shady Mob podcast with the king himself, NPV. The man and I want to say that we appreciate you guys for being here. Hopefully you are enjoying this content and you'll be coming back and staying tuned for more. Always remember, desire is power, and if you desire to be great, you have the power to be great. Also, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to follow our channels, Shady Mob Podcast for your movie and TV reviews, A&A Radio for financial advice on how to invest, how to save money. Alex the Man Angelov does a great job there. And your host, King NPV, on N1 from the End Zone if you're into sports and wrestling. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more.
7-8 racks on StockX.com. That was just kicks for the whole team. Closet full of racks like Lonzo Ball. Man, I used to run from the police. Niggas, your type get set up. 10 racks for the get up. About 2 packs, get you wet up. Slice your block with the cheddar.
This beef fresh out the factory. Whack ass